Hello and welcome back to the Under the Umbrella podcast. This is the February 8th edition from coming to you live from the Big Green Umbrella Media Studio. I'm Cody Williams, Cityview reporter with
Tammy Pearson, Iowa Living Magazine's editor.
Am I allowed to call it live?
I think we're live.
We are live, but
I mean,
it doesn't.
you can't always tell. But right now, yeah, we're alive and well.
If I get to that, I'm going to take it. It just sounds cool at a minimum, even if we aren't broadcast live. And we're live.
Yeah, I like it.
That always sounds
Stick
fun.
with it.
More beautiful weather, too. It's going to be like 60 today.
Yeah. And it's what date?
February 8th, early February.
But a bit of a cool down coming.
Yeah, of
But
course.
It'll still be nice for February.
Oh, yeah. Well, without further ado, Tammy, do you want to kick us off with your joke of the day, the best one of the week?
This may have been the best one of the month so far.
I loved it. I mean, I haven't heard it yet.
Well, here we go. What do you call a psychic gnome who escaped from prison?
What do you call a psychic gnome who escaped from prison? I don't know.
Tuned.
Stay tuned. It's
We'll
well
share
worth.
it later.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you about some of the Cityview stories that are in this February edition that we haven't gone over yet. First up, we're going to talk about the business feature from this month, written by Colson Thayer about the state tournament boom. Colson details how businesses see a big rise in business around when the state tournaments hit downtown, even from local restaurants and hotels and spreading all the way out to Jordan Creek with the Shields and all their stores when, people are coming from all over the state. They get the chance to be in Des Moines, go to the local restaurants around here, the big, big brand name stores in Jordan Creek.
Yeah. Can go do things that you don't normally do. It's like the olden days when you would go to town for the weekend, but now you go to the big city.
Now you go to the big city.
For the tournament.
And those are coming up. Those are very
Yes.
soon. Wrestling and basketball both happening very soon. I can't remember, within the next 2 weeks or so, I'd say.
Wonderful, huge events, and good for the local economy.
Oh, yeah. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about Food Dude. Jim Duncan talks about Irina's and Hessen House and how they both transport diners to a different place. Irina's kind of has the prime jazz era for a nice, dinner, romantic setting. You get a nice, beautiful steak. And Hessen House takes you to Germany, which is nice. I was just there over the weekend, and I saw they had a YouTube ad where they said that they have the largest German beer selection in the country.
Wow.
I haven't been able to vet that, but I'm inclined to believe them. They've got tons.
And German beer is good beer.
It is very good. It is very good. Have you gotten the boot, Tammy?
No.
You know what the boot is?
Yes. A big, large container for beer, right?
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right.
I'd be more interested in the food, though.
Great food there, too.
Yes.
Same with Irina's. They've won some Cityview awards over the years.
Yes, we don't have enough German food.
I know. Hessen House is a great place to go for that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. I could tell you some stories having grown up in Germany about German beer and German food. A little bit of Germany here in Des Moines.
Have you gotten any of their food or their drinks to properly compare?
No, I have not, but I've heard it's wonderful.
It definitely is. And Irina's as well. Definitely not to underrate. They've got some fantastic food and a great ambiance there as well. Belly Up this month is about the Cork in Johnston. They offer around 170 different wines with a list of 15 to 20 that are always rotating. However, despite wine prices reaching upwards of $300, they do offer Busch Light.
Oh,
you can't.
Something for every taste and budget.
Yeah, I think you have to. Jackie Wilson wrote this one, and she mentions everybody. She doesn't say this exactly, but you must bend the knee to Busch Light. You have to accept it. because people are going to want it.
Well, that's good business, right?
That
Give
is good
people what they
business.
want.
And they don't have a food menu there, but they do have some quick bites that you can get, some more snacky stuff, and looks like a great bar, looks like a great place to have a nice night and get some wine.
Awesome.
Next up, the collections and hobbies story. This one was written by me. This is about Antonio Leovon, who is a local Digimon prodigy. The card game has taken him and his team that he plays with to Los Angeles for nationals. We talked about his trip there, how he got into the game, how do you play it, why he likes it versus other card games like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh.
We have our share of Pokemon cards at home.
I feel like you'd be hard-pressed to find a house that doesn't have at least a Pokemon card in it from over time, just from taking one at school or trading it for something. That was a big part of my childhood. And Digimon wasn't as big, but from what Antonio tells me, the card game is a lot more fun. It's a lot more fast-paced. It's just more enjoyable to play.
And I've just, us older folks may not realize that there are card games associated with that. And competition, it's a big thing.
Took him all the way to Los Angeles. It looked like a great time. I know him and some of the players on that team personally, which made it an easy end to get this story written. And it was fun to see their travels and what they did. And you just wouldn't expect it, that a card game could take you all the way there.
Well, thank you, Cody, for bringing some popular culture from the young folks
I
to
try
Cityview.
Us young folk.
Yeah.
In our
kiddos.
In our card games as kiddos. Next up, we've got book reviews. These are courtesy of Beaverdale Books. They send us 2 book reviews each month for Cityview. The first one is The Parliament, written by Amy Pokwatka, described as deliciously dark modern fairy tale where 2 parallel stories move back and forth between worlds. Ooh. I know. That was the only way that I could sum it up too. It sounds very interesting.
She reviews a huge variety of books. It's amazing.
It is pretty great. I think that it's Julie Goodrich, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Every single time I keep telling myself all the time, I need to read more. I need to get into more books. And I see the books that she reviews and I go, I should read those. I mean, they look great every single time.
She sells them nicely.
Second of the 2 books, 13 Ways to Kill Lullabelle Rock, written by Maud Wolf. This one sounded super interesting to me. The rich people in this story have portraits, which are clones, essentially. And Lullabelle Rock has 12 of them, and she creates a 13th to kill all the other clones, or portraits.
Ooh, murder. That's my that's my genre.
That's you?
Yep.
That sounded so interesting to me. It's, I just want to read that. And she just sums it up really quickly in a way that makes you, at least me, go, I want to read that.
Cody, maybe we should have a book club here at the office.
We could, and we should.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any other interests or if it would just be you and I at lunch break.
I bet we could drum up some interest. I bet we could get some people. We'll get someone. Next up, we've got Sound Circuit / Advice, written by Jackie Wilson once again. She interviewed Tommy Doggett, a saxophone player. He's played contemporary, rock and roll, soul, funk, and jazz for major audiences over the years. She interviewed him, talked about his journey, what he does, how he does. Saxophone player.
Neat.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I wish I could play the
She
saxophone.
also gets a good variety.
She does. She gets a lot of different musical artists for these, and those are always a really fun read. And in Sound Circuit, she lists some upcoming shows as usual, which included some of the names of the Iowa State Fair as announced for their grandstand concerts. So far, that includes Foreigner, Neo, Thomas Rhett, and Lauren Daigle, Jelly Roll, and since that article has been put out, they added Kids Bop Live, and just as recently as this week, Motley Crue, they announced.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, going to be another great state fair,
It's going to be fantastic.
as always.
They've got some big names coming for this year. That's one of the things that they kept stressing, that we're going to have some big names: Foreigner, Neo, Molly Crew, Jelly Roll, and there's still more to come.
Big names.
Big names.
Well, a lot of people go to the state fair.
That is true.
Big audiences.
I think it was just under 2 million last year.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm going to send it over to you, Tammy, but you can read all those city views and more on our website, or find one of our publications on one of the many racks located throughout the metro. The website is www.dmcityview.com.
Well, if you want to look at our most recent living magazines, Iowa Living magazines, we have Indianola, Norwalk, West Des Moines, Jordan Creek, and was that 4? No. Yes. Okay, I'm missing one. Anyway, we have some new magazines out, and you can see them online. And our cover story this month has been Golden Employees. Retirement age workers share why they continue to report for duty. And these are really inspiring stories about people who choose to work well past retirement age, and they share the benefits that they receive from doing that. A good read no matter what community you're from, so check those out. But I wanted to point out the history article in Indianola and Norwalk, which I think are of interest to anybody around the state. Is the history of Elizabeth S. Cook, who in 1875 was elected superintendent of Warren County Schools. And her opponent challenged the election in court, saying that a woman could not be elected to that position. And it went on to become a statewide issue of debate. And, well, you want to read the rest to find out what happened to the case. But let me just say that bless Elizabeth Cook's heart for blazing some trails in our history.
Absolutely.
So see those online at www.iowalivingmagazines with an S at the end.com.
Those stories are great, including that history one, and those feature stories are an interesting read, because retirement is a bit down the line for me. But then when I think about it, I don't want to be just sitting around doing nothing. Maybe I'll go golf, or I don't know. But I got to do something.
You got to do something.
Yeah, you got to do something.
I
Whether
mean,
it be a hobby.
COVID showed me that staying at home too long is not good for my well-being.
Get a little stir crazy.
Oh, boy. It was bad. So, yeah, I would probably want to continue working as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tammy, I got to ask you a question.
Oh, dear.
And it's an important one.
Have I pre-approved it?
I believe so. What do you prefer to keep the temperature in your house?
My thermostat?
Yeah. What do you keep your thermostat at?
My thermostat is at 71.
I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Yes?
I think everywhere I've lived, I've had a couple roommates where, we kept it at 70. Sometimes they brought up 72, 73, or, if it was the summer, just wouldn't even turn the AC on.
What?
I know.
In Iowa?
In Iowa.
Oh, my gosh. I start turning mine on in March. As soon as it hits 75.
Right. You got to keep it's just been, I wanted to talk about it because I feel like I've at least had so many of these conversations recently, because I'm going to be moving, but then just talking to other people. And then, some people in our office keep their houses as low as 62.
I have a friend. I make sure to wear my parka when I visit.
That's unbelievable. Or I don't know who it was. They said they keep it as high as like 74 in their house, maybe even higher than that.
Oh, no.
Why? A perfect 70, you could be in like shorts and a hoodie, or you could be in sweats if you're feeling a little chilly that day. Why would you want to be all bundled up or dressed down in your home? Why would you want to? I guess everybody's comfortable at what they're at. And everybody's different.
It can cause marriages to break down when you don't agree on the temperature.
They'll crumble.
And I have worked in offices where, there was a battle over the thermostat. I recall one day that I had the air conditioning on in our office, and my office mate sitting not too far away had the space heater on under her desk. I'm like, why? Are you nuts? This is summer. Of course you have air conditioning on.
Right. How could you? I don't know. And I feel like I tend to run pretty hot, pretty warm. I'll sweat in the winter just walking around. But in the house, if you just keep it a nice even, and I tell you what, there's nothing better than like a summer day and it's been like 95 degrees. Maybe you were at the fair. You just saw a grandstand concert. It's hot. You walk in your house and you just feel that rush of cold air cool you down immediately. Or vice versa. It's winter and you walk in, you can just feel, you walk right into just warmth overtaking you.
Yes.
Isn't that nice?
Unless, like last Friday, my furnace quit working and I walked into the house and, I did not feel that blast of warmth that you just spoke of.
Felt the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to bring that up, talk about that a little bit, give a little chit chat on that, because it's been a pretty big topic of conversation around the office and in my own life.
And we do our little bit of marriage counseling.
We do a little bit of marriage counseling. Just talk.
Talk about it.
Just have a conversation. If you're cold, say something. If you're hot, say something. And then, or just do it behind their back. That always works. Don't say anything.
There'd be a path worn out to the thermostat in the carpet, right?
Yeah. Well, before we get to the joke of the day answer, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's coming up this weekend, some events that you can feel free to hit. Well, you have to pay for some of these, all of them. But you can
worth every dime.
Worth every dime, every penny, every nickel, every quarter. You can catch company at the Civic Center today through Saturday. That's a fun musical comedy play. The Winter Blues Fest will be at the Marriott in downtown on Friday and Saturday. And on Sunday, Smash Park is hosting their 6th annual bags tournament. If you're feeling lucky, if you're feeling like you've got the skill, you honed your talents over tailgating season and you want to get back out there, little tournament for you.
Fun.
Sounds like a good weekend.
Yeah.
Going to cool down a little bit, but it should be a good time regardless.
Yes.
All right, Tammy, I need it. I need the answer.
All right. What do you call a psychic gnome who escaped from a prison?
What do you call him?
A small medium at large. I love our studio audience, don't you?
And they're very loyal. They show up every time, and they love your jokes. They love them so much.
Much better audience than my coworkers.
That one got a big laugh.
Okay, it did. It was a good one.
That was a good one. I really liked that one. That was also my favorite.
Thank you, Cody.
Of course. Do you want to tell people where they can read the joke of the day?
Yes, I most certainly do. You can read the joke of the day, not the day of the joke, at the Daily Umbrella. Wait, let me just start over, okay?
Get it right.
We send out a daily newsletter emailed Monday through Friday. It's called the Daily Umbrella, and it includes news headlines. It includes some information from the food dude, from Center Stage, the weather, and, of course, the joke of the day. But if you don't get that, if you want to get it in your email, go to don't ask me to do these thedailyumbrella.com. You can sign up for the newsletter, or you can just read it at the website, and you can see all of our archived issues as well, should you want to come up with a list of good jokes to share.
There you go. And Tammy puts those together, and they're fantastic every time.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Well, that is going to do it for us here at the Big Green Umbrella Media Studio. We want to say thank you for listening to the Under the Umbrella podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. You can read our Guthrie Center publications at www.gctimesnews.com, our Iowa Living Magazine stories at www.iowalivingmagazines.com, our Cityview stories at www.dmcityview.com, and if you have a story suggestion or would like to make a comment, you can send those to editor@dmcityview.com. Thank you and goodbye.